What if I told you the most confusing generation right now might actually be the most emotionally intelligent one? The same generation that can go viral overnight, build a brand from their bedroom, cancel a celebrity in 24 hours, and still stare at their phone for 20 minutes thinking, should I reply with okay or okay? Yeah, we're talking about Gen Z. Some people call them lazy, some call them sensitive, others say they're addicted to their phones. But what if none of that is the full story? What if Gen Z isn't broken? They're just built differently. Gen Z didn't discover the internet. They were born into it. Wi-Fi wasn't something that arrived later in life. It was already there, like electricity, like air. Their childhood wasn't just cartoons and outdoor games. It was YouTube tutorials at 11, learning life hacks from strangers online, memes, trends, viral challenges, and group chats that never sleep. Their brains grew up in fast-forward mode, which is why they get bored quickly, not because they can't focus, but because their minds are trained for speed. If something doesn't hook them in 5 seconds, they scroll. If a conversation feels dry, they mentally exit. Speed is normal to them. But here's where it gets interesting. Gen Z openly talks about mental health without whispering. Anxiety. They'll say it out loud. Therapy. They'll recommend it. Burnout. They'll post about it. While older generations were told to stay strong and not complain, Gen Z asks, why should I suffer silently? They use words like boundaries, trauma, and gaslighting in everyday conversation, and even if people laugh at that, it actually shows emotional awareness. They don't just feel emotions, they analyze them. Of course, that can turn into overthinking. One small change in someone's tone becomes a full mental investigation. Did they sound annoyed? Are they upset? Did I say something weird 3 weeks ago? Overthinking is basically their part-time job. Then there's social media, the ultimate comparison machine. Imagine waking up every day and seeing people your age traveling the world, launching startups, getting fit, buying cars, getting engaged, making money online. Even if you know it's filtered, it still hits. You start asking yourself, am I behind? Should I be doing more? Why is everyone successful except me? And on top of that, they're told to follow their passion, make money early, invest young, build a personal brand, be unique, confident, socially aware, stay fit, and not waste time, all before 25. That's heavy, so no wonder burnout feels normal. But here's something powerful about Gen Z psychology. They care about meaning. They don't just want a job, they want purpose. They don't just want money, they want alignment. If a workplace feels toxic, they won't stay just because that's life. They'll leave, not because they're weak, but because peace matters to them. That challenges old systems where success meant sacrifice and silent survival. And Gen Z is asking, but at what cost? They're not lazy, they're selective. If something feels pointless, they question it. If something wastes time, they reject it. They look for smarter, faster, automated ways to do things. Efficiency is their love language. Their humor is chaotic, random, sometimes dark, sometimes absurd. They'll post a serious message about climate change and then share a meme that says, no thoughts. Head empty. That mix isn't immaturity, it's coping. Growing up with economic uncertainty, pandemics, global crises, and nonstop online pressure means humor becomes armor. Laughing at chaos makes it survivable. Another powerful thing about Gen Z is identity. They think deeply about who they are, their values, personality, aesthetics, beliefs. They don't want to fit into a box just because society says so. They want authenticity. Sometimes that means switching careers, deleting social media, starting over. And they don't see restarting as failure. They see it as growth. That flexibility might be their biggest psychological strength. Growing up in constant updates, new apps every year, new trends every month, new problems every day, means adaptation feels natural. So when someone says, Gen Z is too sensitive, maybe it's not sensitivity, maybe it's awareness. When someone says, Gen Z is lazy, maybe it's not laziness, maybe it's a refusal to accept systems that no longer make sense. They are fast thinkers, deep feelers, creative minds, emotionally open, sometimes overwhelmed, sometimes chaotic, but incredibly adaptable. And maybe the real question isn't, what's wrong with Gen Z? Maybe the real question is, are we ready for a generation that refuses to live on autopilot? Because whether people understand them or not, Gen Z isn't just scrolling through the future, they're shaping it.